Introducing yourself in English is a necessary evil. Nobody likes it, but we need it. Because, let's be honest, introducing yourself is something that you'll have to do over and over again. For example, in a job interview, they will ask you, tell us something about yourself. And you need to be able to juggle an answer. Or imagine you are at a networking event and you meet new people or people that you haven't met in a long time. You got to be ready for these situations. What if a colleague wants to introduce you to somebody new? Or you're new in the team and they ask you, hey, would you like to introduce yourself? These situations are scary, but you can get prepared for them so that they never catch you off guard. Let's get started into how to prepare for an introduction so that you're always ready whenever it comes and they never catch you unprepared. Sometimes these situations are a little bit less formal. Sometimes it's really professional and more formal. Sometimes you know that this is going to happen, and sometimes it's completely out of the blue and you have to react fast. For all of these situations, there is a system you can organize yourself with step 1, step 2, and step 3. I'm going to show you in a minute so that you can always be ready to introduce yourself in English in every and any situation that might happen to you. So let's get started. Here is what you might have done in the past and we really don't want to do moving forward. Hi, I am Stefan, I am 33 years old and I come from Hamburg, Germany. I studied industrial engineering at the University of Hamburg and I currently have a position as the head of the quality department for supply operations. But honestly, I don't even like it that much. The bosses are really annoying, they want new things all the time, and honestly, it's just, I'm not sure it's worth it. I think I'm gonna change soon. I'm gonna look for something where I can work less and just earn more money, you know? In a professional situation like this, what you want to do is focus on the really important details and leave out your age, leave out the university at which you studied. So all those details are not relevant and focus on what is relevant. You can start, for example, by mentioning your position. And if you do this, make sure that you do it with easy words so that anybody could understand them. Sometimes we forget that we speak with difficult words because it's our job and we're used to these words. For example, I could say, well, I am the head of the team, so I'm in charge of the quality of checking that everything has a good standard, especially in the supply department. And the good thing about explaining your position with easy terms is that you're giving your partner, your conversation partner, the possibility of asking follow-up questions on specific details. And this is only possible if you do it with easy words in a way that anybody could understand what exactly you do and what your motivation is. For the second part of your introduction, you basically have two options. Let's start with the first one, which is balance. You would choose balance if you're talking to your boss, if you're talking to a coworker, or if you want to make a good impression to somebody who works in your same company. And a balance can look like this. Well, I am happy with my position because it allows me to do two things I like. I can focus on the supply chain, which is really what I studied for and it's really my formation. So I like being able to gain skills on that. But I also appreciate gaining human skills so that I can be a better head of the team in the future, right? So people management skills. So my new position has both aspects and this is why I think is a very good suit for me. The second option is your goals, and you will choose this in a networking events with people from other companies or people that you think might give you a job at some point. So the impression that you want to do here is a little bit different, and you want to talk about your future goals. For example, here you can say, yeah, I am in this position and I'm happy that I'm gaining knowledge on people management because I am looking for a job in which I can supervise bigger groups or more groups in the future. Another objective could be, I want to work in the future with project managements, so at a bigger scale. So right now I'm happy to be focusing on supplier chain. In the future, I'm looking for improving processes and project management in a higher level. And you can say this as a goal, right? Not complaining about your job, but really setting a clear goal. And who knows, maybe this person remembers you in 2 or 3 months when a position comes to mind to them. The third step of your introduction will be sharing an anecdote. So this I recommend if you are going to a networking event, having your anecdotes beforehand. Think of 3 different anecdotes. It can be a challenge. Challenges are really, really good. I have a video on how to talk about a challenge here. I recommend watching it after this video. So you can have your challenge or your anecdote or just a story, a professional story, something that happened to you that you would like to share. And in the moment, you will see which story you want to share. So if the person is closer to you, you can focus on a difficult challenge and more in the problem. If the person is not so close to you, so it's a bit more distant, you can talk about the solution of the challenge or a slighter anecdote. All of these steps, so your position, the balance or the goal, and your anecdotes, this belongs in a pack that will be your introduction, and you can bring it anywhere and everywhere, right? But the important thing here is that you don't need to talk all this way. You don't need to mention all the steps every time. Sometimes an introduction is just saying your name and your position, and that's enough. Sometimes you want to talk about the balance of your job in, for example, a corporate dinner. Then you might want to say why your job suits you so well. In another situation, you want to maybe mention an anecdote, right? But if you have this whole kit, if you have the whole pack prepared, if you know which anecdotes are especially good, because maybe when you told them for the first time, you noticed they worked quite well, or because they're funny, or because the results were so good, then you can have those ready and you can prepare in advance. You can tell them to yourself in advance, and whenever you have to introduce yourself, you can be ready with them and you can just repeat them, right? They're always a little bit different, right? But the important thing is that you don't have to say everything every time you meet somebody new. The last thing I want to mention is super important: small talk. Small talk is what happens after the introduction, and here I created this video where you can go and see what strategies might work for you to create small talk in a way that's easier, that's lighter, because the introduction we can plan, and the small talk we need another set of skills so that we can navigate that with comfort and we can even enjoy it. So I recommend going watching that video now, and that was it on my side. Cheers, Uriel.